Welcome everyone, welcome to our new edition of interviews. Today our topic is going to be about happiness, and our special guest is Abhishek Budhraja. Abhishek is a transformation and continuous improvement coach, assisting organizations to continuously improve their business processes as well as the well-being of their employees, so they can tap into their immense and yet underutilized potential. They can do so by taking action to design, discover their passion, and live their life purpose. Welcome, Abhishek. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Diana. It's a pleasure to be on this show. I'm really excited about this. So let's get on with it.
I am honored to have you here. I know that you have a lot of experience, and we are going to learn more about it. I would like to ask you the first question. What is your story and what is your mission? How did you start on this path of helping organizations with their business processes and then helping individuals?
All right. So my story, actually, I had been in the corporate world for almost about 20 years. I've worked with various multinational companies here in India. And I've done various kind of jobs. I've done operations, I've done transitions and quality. I've been a quality lead for some of the organizations. And so the continuous improvement part comes from there, wherein since I am a certified Lean Six Sigma practitioner, so that is part of the continuous improvement training and consulting which I do for the organizations to how to improve their processes and all that. The other part is helping individuals. That's a story which still got. So the continuous improvement is like since 2006, I've been in the quality world and I've done a lot of project mentoring and all that. But for the coaching part, I moved into. I've been mentoring and coaching people since the time I'd gone into quality, because there are projects which needs to be done and people need to be coached and mentored. So unofficially, I'd been doing that, but yes, I got certified almost about 3 years back as a transformation coach, and that's where the coaching journey really begins. So 20 years in the corporate world, doing a lot of stuff, but since past couple of years, in the last few years of my career, so it was a time wherein I was feeling saturated. I thought that probably this is not what I would want to continue with, and I would want to do something totally different than what I'm doing right now. So that's where this thing started. And 2019, I was out of the corporate world, and that's where I started working on this program, which is called Live by Design Blueprint Program, which is all about helping individuals, and which is also the mission of that program, which is helping individuals being the best version of themselves by tapping into their immense and yet underutilized potential. From my experience in the corporate world and from my experience of meeting a lot of people, I've realized that within us there's a lot of potential which remains underutilized, just because we do not challenge the status quo, we do not go beyond our fears. And that's something which if we are able to overcome that, we can achieve much more than what we think or what we do achieve in our life. So that's the mission of this entire coaching thing, is to help people, to help individuals. In a way, I was like that in the last few years of my career, wherein I was wanting to do something totally different. I was not satisfied with the 9-to-5 jobs because it was not adding any value to what I was doing. And it was not adding value to my life. It may be adding to the value to the organization by helping them improve their processes, but nothing to my life. So that's where I decided to jump over from the corporate life to a coach life. Now I'm a transformation coach, I'm a continuous improvement coach and a consultant. I do trainings also, trainings for organizations. Apart from that, I'm also a paraglider pilot, I'm also a biker, and there are many things. In last 2 years, I've done so many things, I can't even tell you that which includes I've become a web developer. So I've kind of created my own website from scratch, and similarly, I've done marketing and various other stuffs. I've learned so much. In fact, to tell you the truth, in the last 2 years of me and me designing my life, I've done so much, but I've done so many things as compared to if I were to look at my last 5 years of my corporate life, I think last 2 years were much more productive than last 5 years of my corporate life. So yeah, that's the story. As I said, the mission is to help individuals be their best version of themselves by utilizing their by understanding and using their potential or underutilized potential.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. I am impressed by all your experience and everything you have been living. And I fully agree with you that sometimes we are in our corporate world, but we don't really live at our true potential. And this has also been my experience. Actually, I was in the corporate world, and there was a certain framework I had to apply and a certain way to behave. And absolutely, when you're out there as a business owner on your own, you grow so much more because you are more exposed. And this has also been my experience. I would like to ask you next, how can people tap into their potential? What is happening? Why are they not really living their true potential?
Well, because they're not exploring themselves. The entire program, which is the Live by Design program, is based on a premise that you need to explore yourself. And you need to understand the fact that there is a difference between what you think you can and what you truly can. There's a huge difference between that and your beliefs, your biases are actually limiting your potential because you believe that you can do only this, but whereas you can do much better than that. Apart from that, people have the tendency of being or they have this habit of being in their comfort zone. They're not challenging their status quo. Well, as part of as being a trainer, being a continuous improvement consultant and a coach, I also tell people that you should be actually asking the question why, and you should not be just satisfied with the answers. You should dig deeper into the causes. Okay, so challenge your status quo. That's something which is very much missing in with individuals and people actually sticking to their comfort zones. Another thing which they don't face their fears. Okay, there are a lot of fears which fears in the form of they have self-doubts, they have anxieties, they have fears which are limiting their potential, and to tell you the truth, these are all in the mind. Okay, these are not these are all habits which have been stored in your subconscious mind, which are actually working for you and which are preventing you from realizing that potential, that immense potential that you have. I'll just give there's a very beautiful quote by Robin Sharma who says that your mind is an excellent servant but a terrible master. So as a servant, it is serving you by protecting you, by preventing you from getting into uncomfortable situations. Okay, so So what I believe is that it's like a software, a computer software where the programs there are codes, and these codes have been you've actually programmed these codes, these fears, these self-doubts, these anxieties into your mind over the years, and based on your experiences, based on your interactions with people. But if I also believe that if you've programmed it so far, then you can also reprogram it now. And that's exactly what we need to do is when we are talking about self-exploration, when I talk about self-exploration, is it all about understanding that this is not your limits. You can go way beyond that, and then reprogramming your mind to go beyond what you think you can.
Thank you, Abhishek. What I actually realized also from my own experience is that sometimes I am in that fear, that I feel it, right? That I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. And what I notice is that whenever I feel the fear, I know that that is the step that I need to take because this is going to help me grow. but I have reached a certain level of awareness and consciousness after 6 or 7 years of personal development, of working with myself. And what I see generally in organizations, but also for business owners, is sometimes they are not aware, actually. They don't realize what's happening to them. Maybe they are blocked and they stay there. What would be a way out? How can they become more aware of what is happening, to realize and be conscious that actually I am living something and maybe I need to change it?
I think it's all about gaining clarity, because the transformation journey, what it requires is that it requires focus, effort, a lot of patience, and most importantly, it requires actions and consistent actions. We stop because of our fears, we stop because of our doubts, but to really overcome that, you need to take some actions. It does not necessarily mean that you do totally opposite of what you are fear of, but you take small actions, but consistent actions over a period of time. Now, I've developed this process, a 7-step process, which is called the actions process. It's part of that Live by Design blueprint journey. And it is all about you moving forward in your life by gaining clarity and all that. And action actually is an acronym for aspire or aspiration, knowing what you aspire or knowing what your aspirations are in your life. Gaining clarity, clarity about your passion, and using that passion to live your life's purpose or serving a purpose of your life. True reality, knowing where you are or your true reality, and whether it is aligned to the life goal that you have or that you've defined for yourself. And if it is not, then there is a gap between your as is reality and your to be reality. Then understanding your impediments. Impediments are obstacles that are actually preventing you from being the best version of yourself. And these fears, these beliefs, these biases which you have are those impediments, which are all in your mind. You may have a justifiable reason, or you may not even have a justifiable reason. You may be able to validate, and most of the times when I've spoken to people, they are not even able to validate whether the fear is actually a real fear for them. It's just that their mind not allowing them to move out of their comfort zones. Then you've got options. Once you have clarity about your passion, purpose, and you've defined your goal, then you need to explore options. You need to, and it's not just about exploring options, it's also about testing those options. It's also prototyping. I call it prototyping, and doing it all now. Because if you don't do it now, if you don't start the journey now, then you will forever be in that loop where that today is not the time, let me do it tomorrow. That loop never ends. So you've got to break that loop. And finally, the most important part of that actions process is the success factor, celebration of success. What we generally do is we celebrate at the end of the journey, which is actually good, but then you should actually celebrate along the way also when you're taking small steps and you're gaining victory. Even if it's a small step you've taken of overcoming some of your belief or some of your fear, you should celebrate that. Because what I believe is that it's not the destination which is important, it is the journey also which is important. So you need to live that journey, you need to enjoy that journey. So these are the 7 steps which I use in my program. So I take people through this process wherein they are able to they talk about their aspirations, they gain clarity about their passion and purpose, they know where they are standing right now and what is the gap between where they want to be, then understand and manage their impediments, and design their options. And they have to, and the best part is they have to take the actions now. As in when they will have to take the actions then there itself, that this is something which I need to do and this is something which I will. And obviously you will be having some accountability, there's going to be some accountability on from the part of the person who's doing that. And finally, every step along the way, celebrating the success.
This is very valuable. Thank you so much, Abhishek. I am really finding myself in everything you are saying. And I believe that this is really, really essential to be applied for everyone. And what I see actually is that people don't take that step, don't even dare to go through this process. I don't know if it's courage, or I don't know if they are just on automatic pilot. And I was wondering, what is the trigger that could make them reflect that maybe I'm not really living my true potential, I'm not living my passion, I'm not inspiring people, I'm not inspiring myself? Do you think there is something they could see? Okay, if I hit this button, I know that I'm not on the right path.
Yeah, so there are many triggers actually. So whenever there is a misalignment between the ideal you and the actual you, and you think that you lack purpose, or you really don't know your why in real sense, then you will feel stuck, you will feel disengaged with whatever you're doing, probably feel lost, exhausted, disoriented, overwhelmed. You will have anxiety attacks, of you'll feel frustrated. Okay, and all the worst part is all of this drains you out to a point wherein you don't even explore options, or you don't explore options because of that. And how you justify it? By saying that there is a time crisis. Okay, by saying to ourselves that yes, we are too busy, this is probably we'll do it some other day, this is not the right time, we are too late. So you keep giving yourself excuses like that. So what actually you tell, or what you say is a time crisis, is actually an energy crisis, because you're drained out of because you're feeling stuck, you're feeling disengaged, you're feeling frustrated and all that. So it's not exactly, and this personally totally my belief, that it's not the time crisis that we are dealing with, it's the energy crisis we are dealing with. Okay, just to give you an example, when you are having all these I'll just take an example of this piece of paper. Okay, this is a piece of paper which is totally blank, and you have you can do anything with that. You can write a poem, you can write a story, you can create a paper plane, or whatever you want. There's endless possibilities there. But when you are actually feeling stuck, disengaged, frustrated, your mind is like a crumpled paper, a crushed paper. Okay, so so you have thoughts after thoughts. So whenever you do decide that you want to do something, then something in your mind comes that no, this is not for me, or this is not the way how it's supposed to be, or this is I'm afraid of doing this. Okay, and that's where I differentiate. I say that it's not a time crisis. It's more of an energy crisis. You are drained out of your energy because you are overthinking. Or you are totally directionless. You lack clarity of things. So that's the biggest problem. And the triggers are obviously that you are feeling stuck, disengaged, disoriented, and all that.
Absolutely. I went through all of this and I felt them all actually in my life. And until I didn't really feel the pain, I didn't make a change. I didn't know that actually there is something else that is waiting for me out there. And absolutely, I fully agree with you that this is essential for us to identify it and to take action. And I believe that everyone can do it. And this is the mission of my brand, Design Tomorrow, because we are able to design our life. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for all the information and valuable input you gave to us in this interview. I would like to ask you, before closing our interview, who are you serving and how can people contact you?
All right. So the people that I'm serving are those who are feeling stuck in their life or a career, and they're open to exploring options, and most importantly, they are willing to stay committed to the transformation process. Because I've had people in the past who say that they want to change, they want to transform their life, but when it actually comes to taking actions, when it actually comes to doing something about their life, they're not able to. they get stuck in their fears, they get stuck with their doubts and all that. So you have to be totally committed to throughout that process, and it's not a very big process. It's and the best part about this process is it's not that that you really need to jump into a different ship altogether. Okay, so you really don't have to quit what you're doing. Okay, whether it is your life, any aspect of your life, or whether it is a career, you don't have to quit. What this program is primarily about, you creating a blueprint of your future life. Okay, and once you're convinced that this is the blueprint that you really want to go with, then you start working towards it gradually, one step at a time. And we're not talking about taking big steps, but start slow and then work towards achieving that goals. And while you're doing that, you are adapting and improvising along the way. This is the best part about it, because things will go wrong. Whatever you plan, it can go wrong. There will be some improvisations that will be required along the way. So you will have to improvise and adapt along the way. So as far as how people can get in touch with me, I am there on social media with the name Abhishek Budhraja. I also have a website called abhishekbudhraja.com. And there are options available over there where you can schedule complimentary sessions with me. We can have a conversation, and those conversations are plain conversations with no objective. I do not intend to sell any product. I just want to have a conversation. And apart from that, there's also an option you can send me messages on WhatsApp. I'm available on WhatsApp. There's an option on the website itself wherein you can, and if apart from that, there's another option. You can drop me an email at contact@abhishekbudhraja.com. That's also that's my email ID, wherein whenever I get any queries, I do take time out to respond to them. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for all of those out there who need help to design their life, to live their true potential and their true passion. Don't hesitate to contact Abhishek, because he's going to be there to support you in everything you need to do, whether it's about career or whether it's about a business that you need to design, that you need to put a framework on. He's going to be there to support you every step in the way. Thank you so much for being with me in this journey and for dedicating your time to our interview, Abhishek.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you very much. And again, honored to be on this show.
Thank you so much. And stay connected, because there is so much more to come.
Definitely. I will. Definitely. Thank you very much.